And now we are going back to one of the one-way locks. Ooh, that's dark and scary. What the hell? We're going past so many things here. Another one. Oh, but we already opened that one.
いかん。しまった。
どうしたのじいちゃん。
所長室に大事なものを忘れてきてしまったんじゃ。
The photo.
大事なものって？
写真じゃよ。あの写真じゃ。
Oh yeah. We must have set it down after using the face recognition thing. How could they make sure that there is a girl here for sure though? Was that room built for Tenmyouji? The last time somebody went in that office, was it Kay and Dio? They didn't have a woman in there.
そうじゃ。わしはあれを取りに引き返す。
Well, wait.
二人は先に A 階の倉庫へと戻っていてくれ。
Well, wait, goddammit.
じゃあ僕も所長室に戻るよ。
No, I'm coming too. Me too.
いや、二人もついてくる必要はない。一人は倉庫に向かうんじゃ。他の者たちがすでに倉庫で待っているかもしれんからな。
So Quark coming with you is okay, but you don't want me coming with you? Alright. I'll see you two later then. Oh, can we not split up? It's just a picture. It just takes like 10 seconds to go and get.
頼んだぞ。
Unless if you're trying to do something else.
また後でね、シグマさん。
Bye, Quark. I watched them jog off toward the blue door. And then they were gone. And then there were none. Guess I should be getting back then. Before we do that, I wasn't really paying attention to the map just now, but I do want to look at how the way to go back is, because we just went through a whole bunch of one-way locks, meaning that we can't go back the way we came from. Floor B map. Yeah, so I think we, what was the room that we came out of? I think it was this one? Yeah, I think so. We went through this one, and then we were here, and then we walked all the way here. There's one of the one-way locks. So, they went to the blue door. And they can't go through here, which means they gotta go this way. And, I don't know where they would really go here. But what I'm saying is, I'm assuming that they actually have to wrap back into warehouse B, right? Could they see something there? Could they bump into anything here? I don't know. I guess we'll find out if they do, or not. Guess I should be getting back then. Alone. Loneliness. Can I please bump into some people who are alive here? I hope everything went well, but it's gone too well so far, aside from Alice dying. I stepped into the warehouse to find all the other teams already there. Oh no, but now Tenmyouji and Quark are alone. Kay and Luna. Flying Clover. And Dio. The moment Dio spotted me, he dashed over to the rightmost AB room and slid his card through the reader. But Tenmyouji and Quark! Oh my god. Why do you have to be in such a hurry?
Ambidex Gate が開放されました。
See, Tenmyouji, I told you it was better for me to go with you, cause if he didn't see me, he wouldn't open it.
Ambidex ゲーム投票の締め切りまで残り45分です。
As he turned to look at me, I swore I saw a flash of a smug grin.
別に構わねえだろ。今回はシグマが戻ってきたのをちゃんと見届けてからゲートを開いたんだ。勝手な真似とは言わせないぜ。
But Tenmyouji and Quark aren't here.
そういえば、2 二人はどうしたんだ？
I guess they forgot something back in the room we found. I guess? They ran back to grab it real quick.
だったらすぐにやってくるだろう。何の問題もない。
If they don't come back, I'm holding you responsible for this. While we waited, we exchanged information about the rooms we've investigated. Unfortunately, none of it seemed useful. None of us had found anything, and we were no closer to unraveling any of the increasing number of mysteries we were faced with. With that discussion exhausted, we sat down to wait. Before long, 20 minutes had passed since Dio opened the door, and Tenmyouji and Quark were nowhere in sight. God damn it, god damn it.
なあ、いくらなんでも遅すぎるんじゃないか。心配ですね。何かあったんでしょうか？
I'll go have a look.
では、私もお供しましょう。
I would appreciate that, thanks. Apparently not. Nah, I'll be fine by myself. It's not that far away.
ミイラ取りがミイラにならないようにね。
Okay. Look, I'm just going to the director's office. I'll be right back. No big deal. Right, see you guys later. I'm surprised everyone's just chilling outside here instead of going into the AB rooms. I gave a quick goodbye wave and stepped out of the warehouse. If you finish voting, but not everybody else is finished, are you let outside of the ABE room? Or are you forced to stay inside? Because that might be why people aren't willing to go in yet, because they don't want to get stuck in that little cubbyhole by themselves for who knows how long. No. No dead bodies. No dead bodies. Please and thank you. Huh? That's odd. There's nobody here. Did they even make it back to this room? Oh, because you know what? If you go back to Warehouse B, everyone else is already in floor A, right? Wait, let's look at this. Yeah, if you go back to Warehouse B, that means all the other rooms that people were looking at already opened. Maybe they already went to some other door to look at. Oh no. Well, it might not be a oh no. It just means they went to look at it. Not really anything that bad. Kinda surprised that nobody thought that they should look at somebody else's room though. Oh, or maybe that's because we were like, oh yeah, we found nothing. Every single person here. The picture's gone though. Okay, so they've been here. Tenmyouji and Quark must have been here then. Somebody was here. I laid out the floor B map. Huh. They must have taken the door that faces the warehouse. Faces the warehouse? After that, they probably went through the warehouse and out the blue door to the elevator. Oh, you mean here. Up here. Does that work? So you're saying that they went down, or how do I just show the picture? I never figured that out. There must be a way just to show the cutscene. But if you don't mind looking beyond the words here. So Sigma is saying that they went through like that and then just came back this way instead. Okay. Yeah, that's a much shorter route. On the other hand, I came through the red door, which is kind of the long way around. Can you go through? You can? Well, if you go here, you can't go through this way, right? Can you? If you go down here? Well, whatever, I guess. We'll figure it out. Huh. Looks like we managed to miss each other perfectly. Huh. Well, this was a huge waste of time. This is what you're assuming, though. We don't know. Shoot. Might as well head back, I suppose. They're not gonna be there. I'd packed up the map and was headed toward the door when... Huh? There was a light on where there hadn't been a light before. Oh, I forgot to look at the computer again. I forgot about that too. What? Why is that thing on? We messed with it earlier, but nothing seemed to work. I felt a sudden wave of inexplicable, nauseating dread. The light stared at me. I swallowed and edged cautiously toward it. It's the time machine. The machine was in arm's reach now. I stretched my hand out toward it, slowly, slowly. Woo! Who are you? No, you're...
我が名はゼロ。君たちを閉じ込めたのは他でもない。この私だ。聞きたいことは星の数ほどあるだろう。だが見ての通り、私のこの姿は事前に記録されたホログラムの映像だ。したがって残念ながら、君の質問には答えることができない。
But that's not somebody in here.
あらかじめこのことを心得ておいてもらいたい。
I considered taking a swing at him, but decided that was spectacularly futile and kept my ball fist at my side. He looks like a space pirate.
さて、何から伝えるべきか。私も君に話して聞かせたいことは数えきれないほどあるんだ。だが時間は限られている。その全てを話すわけにもいくまい。そこで重要なことを2つだけ選んで君に伝えることにしよう。まずはシロアリの話からだ。と突然こんなことを言ってもあっけに取られるばかりだろうね。
Termites? Is that for a drill? No, wait, that's thermite, not termite.
君のきょとんとした顔つき、目に浮かんでくるようだよ。まあそれもそのはず。君たちに命がけのゲームを強要した犯人が突然シロアリの話を始めようというのだからね。
Oh, so it's an insect. What?
拍子抜けするのも無理はなかろう。だがこれは君の人生を左右するほどの極めて重要な話だ。
He's like, I don't have much time. I gotta tell you these things. And he spends all this time talking about nothing.
心して聞いてもらいたい。君はシロアリたちの作ったアリ塚を見たことがあるかね。一つの芸術と言ってもいいぐらいの見事な建造物だよ。非常に整然としていて秩序だっている。ところでシロアリたちはあの建造物を何かの設計図に基づいて構築しているのだろうか。無論そんなわけがない。彼らは遺伝子に刻み込まれたプログラムにのっとってただ単調な作業を継続しているだけだ。おそらくその一匹一匹は自分たちが何を作っているのかさえも分かっていないだろう。しかしそれを観察している人間たちは知っている。そのアリ塚のエレガントな佇まいを、機能美を、見事に計算され尽くした構造を、つまりアリよりも高知な知性を持った存在にしかその構造体の美しさは理解できないということだ。さて、ここで我々人類について考えてみよう。我々はどうして生きている？何のために恋をし、何のために子供を産み、何のために物を生産し、何のために文化を育んでいる。目的は誰にもわからない。我々はただ遺伝子に刻み込まれたプログラムにのっとって単調な毎日を繰り返しているだけだ。さあ、ここまで言えばもう分かってもらえるだろう。そう、要するに私が言いたいのはシロアリも人類も同じなのではないかということだ。
So are you saying that individually we have no meaning?
我々は 日々の営みを繰り返しながらもその究極の目的については全く理解していない。つまり我々は何を作っているのか知らないのだ。それを認識できるのは我々人類よりも高次な知性を持った存在のみ。
Aliens.
あるいはその存在から見れば我々人類は何かとんでもなく秩序だったエレガントな構造体を作っているのかもしれない。我々人類が悠久の時の中で構築し続けてきたその何かはもう一次元高いレベルから見るならば恐ろしく感動的な何かである可能性も否定できないのだ。そして今君はその片鱗を知ろうとしている。違うかね。いずれにせよこれで一つ目の話は終わりになる。これが私の伝えたかった重要なことのうちの一つだ。
I feel like when he says we occasionally get a grasp of it, it's when we do timeline hopping, glycerin stuff.
続けて二つ目の話に移ろう。これは君の人生を、いや数十億という人々の命をつなぎ止めるためのものだ。いささか唐突ではあるが、これから私はある一つのパスワードについて教える。爆弾01を解除するためのパスワードだ。
This was for... Oh my... There's more than one bomb! Are you serious? Okay, well in that case... This was 0, I'm pretty sure. Bomb?
いいかね。一度しか言わないからよく聞くといい。01の解除用パスワードは BQZRGJDXR だ。
Does this have any sort of meaning? BQZ RGJ. Oops. BQZ RGJ DXR. BQZ RGJ. Ah! But now that we know there's more than one bomb, does that mean there's actually 9 bombs? B Q Z R G J D X R. Is this legible enough for the future? RGJ? This one is a little bit questionable, but I think we'll be okay. BQZ RGJ DXR. BQZ RGJ DXR. I had no idea what he was talking about. What bomb? Was he saying there were bombs too? You know what? Before this, I completely forgot there were bombs here. Or, I thought there was 1 bomb here, but no, there's 2, at least. If he'd guessed at my future confusion, he showed no sign of it.
さて、以上をもって私からの話は全て終了となる。最後に一つだけ忠告しておこう。
This guy spent like 5 minutes talking about bugs and 1 second telling me the password to the bomb.
今ここで聞いたこと、見たことについては決して他の者たちに話してはならない。
Oh. So only I'm allowed to see this?
もしも話せば、その時点で君にはペナルティが課せられることになる。
What does that mean? I'll die?
では、またいつかどこかで会おう。その時を楽しみにしている。
Wait! God damn it, you can't just spout all that crap and disappear! I found myself yelling at empty air. The hologram had disappeared. What kind of idiot does he take me for? Termites? Other dimensions? How could that have anything to do with kidnapping us? Shit! I kicked out at a nearby shelf.
アンビデックスゲーム 投票の締め切りまで残り10分です。プレイヤーは速やかに投票を済ませてください。所定の時刻までに投票を行わなかった場合、
Yeah, we know
未
this.
投票者の選択は協力に設定されます。
Oh, crap. I need to get back. Not like there was any point staying here. I'm quite worried that Tenmyouji and Quark won't be back though.
Ji-chan!
Oh, thank God.
シグマさんが戻ってきたよ。
どうにか間に合ったようじゃな。
Where are the others?
AB ルームの中だよ。
They went in already?
そうじゃ。
Why didn't you two? Have you been waiting for me? If they went in, they won't know if it's a guaranteed ally or not, because they can't see if you come back or not.
じっちゃんが投票の前にどうしても話しておきたいことがあるからって。
Oh? Oh?
まあ大したことではないんじゃがな。わしとクォークは次のラウンドで必ず協力を選ぶ。ただそのことを伝えておきたかったんじゃ。
And you had to tell me this no matter what? Seems kinda pointless. I mean, words are cheap. You can promise whatever you want.
確かにそうじゃが、わしらには根拠がある。必ず協力を選ぶという根拠がな。
I honestly don't remember what the BP situation is like in this route. Okay, go ahead.
わしとクォークの BP はともに8。
Ah, okay. 8. Holy crap, I have 3.
正直に言うが、すでにリーチがかかっておる状態なんじゃ。この状態でわしらが BP を9以上にするにはどうすればよいか。まず前提条件としてシグマに協力を選んでもらう必要があるわけじゃが。
Right, because if I betray, they're not getting any points. Guaranteed.
この条件の下ではわしらが協力を選ぼうと裏切りを選ぼうといずれにせよ同じなんじゃよ。
You'd get to 9, whether you got 2 or 3 points.
そうじゃ。であるならばあえてシグマを裏切るまでもない。共に協力を出し合ってポイントを増やした方が賢明じゃろ。
True, but you must have considered that I'll choose betray just to mess you over. That would mean you choose betray to protect yourselves.
だからじっちゃんはそれはしないって宣言してるんだよ。
Can I trust you?
もちろんじゃ。
Alright, tell me one thing. Let's say we do this and both ally. Everybody gets 2 points. There's nothing in it for me. That means you and Quark will have enough to leave, which is great for you. But I'll be stuck with a measly 5. How do I know you aren't going to just open the number 9 door, and leave us in the lurch?
保証はある。
How?
わしの言葉がそれじゃ。わしらは目標値に達しても決して9の扉は開かない。
But Quark will!
そう誓おう。他の者たちを置き去りにして2人だけで脱出するわけにはいかんからな。
I am not convinced by this at all.
僕も誓う。約束する。
Like, it's nice and all, and I want to believe you, but you've given me... In the other routes, you've already shown to me that you are willing to do whatever it takes to save Quark, and you want him to get out of here ASAP. I guess the one thing that's changed here is that Quark is actually here, because previously, he's always been Tenmyouji. Tenmyouji's always been working on the assumption that he has to get Quark out of here ASAP to fix his illness, but he's okay right now. Man. So all you've got is a promise, huh?
わしは約束は必ず守る。信じてくれ。
お願い。信じて、シグマさん。
Can I have a very quick look at what this... Oh, wow. Whoa, this one's the longest one we've seen so far. I just want to look at what we did to get here. We allied with... Lord, I don't even remember who we allied with. I gotta check my thing again. That's fine, not a big deal. But we probably got screwed over somewhere if we only have 3. Yeah. Okay. Alright. Alright, fine. I'll trust you.
投票の締め切りまで残り2分です。
では頼んだぞシグマ。
絶対に協力だよ。
I don't feel like their argument is that strong though. If you're really going to wait for everybody, why don't you wait until everybody gets a 9? Like what is this insistence on getting a 9 before me? If you're gonna wait for me, then you should be okay with getting an 8 for now. Or like getting a whatever, so that other people can catch up.
約束だからね。
And I get why, because having a 9, even if you're not gonna use it, is very, very good feeling. You have something to fall back upon. But if you really want to give me a guarantee, that's what you would tell me. With that, they turned and ran into the AB room, second from the right. Well, guess I should get moving. This might be the first time we've had a solo. Nobody's trying to sway me. And the first time we've had a third AB game too. Holy crap. It's with that scary music again.
投票の締め切りまで残り1分です。
If that really is Junpei though, then who the hell is Quark? I had a decision to make. Should I trust Quark and Tenmyouji? Well, I could believe they were telling the truth and still betray them. That would bring my BP to 6. I'd be that much closer to 9. And choosing betray would guarantee that they wouldn't try and escape without the rest of us. Betrayal seemed like the safe bet. But...
お願い。
Don't use little kids against me.
信じて、シグマさん。絶対に協力だよ。約束だからね。
I feel like I've been burned so many times by just blindly trusting you people. Tenmyouji, I could betray easily enough, but Quark? What the hell was I gonna do?
投票の締め切りまで残り10秒です。9、8、7、6、5、4、3、2、1。
Should I try to trust people once again? Will I get burned again? Okay, if I trust them and I'm getting burned again, then I'm pretty much never going to choose ally first again. Alright? Okay.
Ambidex ゲーム第3ラウンド終了。結果は倉庫内のディスプレイに表示されます。お疲れ様でした。アンビデックスゲートを開放します。
I feel like I regret this already. I can totally see it. Tenmyouji and Quark being like, sorry, bye. I don't know what the other people's BP situation is like right now either.
第3ラウンドの結果を発表します。一度画面にご注目ください。
11. Jesus. Okay, well, I don't think it actually matters if Tenmyouji and Quark leave or not because Clover is gonna leave, especially because Alice is dead. Shit! Oh my god, I didn't even see this, but they betrayed me. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, a kid did me in. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, let's have a closer look at this. Allison, fine, Dio. Yeah, betray. Pretty obvious. It just shows that when you show yourself to be an asshole, it's hard to get anywhere. Luna and Clover. No matter what happens here, Clover is gonna get an 11. Holy crap. Double-digit BP. Kay getting burned for once? Oh. That's actually kind of... Oh, it's because of Luna. Luna's 1. I see. Tenmyouji and Quark decide to betray me. What do you have to say for yourself? My god. Really?
結果は以上のように確定しました。
From now on, I am never trusting people's word for anything again. I would be open to allying only if you give me a good enough reason. Screw being the nice guy. I've been burned enough times.
各自番組の数字をご確認ください。
Your word is garbage. Both your words. Hey! What the hell, guys? Why'd you betray me?
クォークのことは関係ない。投票はわしの独断で行ったんじゃ。
Shut up.
じっちゃん。
Alright, fine. Why'd you break your promise, Tenmyouji?
わしが誓ったのは次のことだけじゃ。わしらは目標値に達しても決して9の扉は開かない。
What? So, you're not gonna leave? No, because Clover's gonna leave!
いや、そうではない。脱出はもちろんさせてもらう。
What?
見ろ、あれを。四つ葉が9の扉の前に立っておるじゃろ。
What? Don't tell me!
Q の扉が。
あのバカ女開きやがったな。
だが結果発表によると確か天明寺とクオークも。
This tells me that this route doesn't really lead anywhere, right? Because the other alternative ending is that Clover leaves by herself, which is the same as what we got in other ending too. The words were barely out of her mouth when Tenmyouji and Quark ran past.
おい待てよこの野郎。
つばさん、まさか脱出するつもりなんですか？そうじゃなかったら開かないでしょ。9の扉。
どうして？
外に出て仲間を呼んでくるの。ゼロボスを捕まえるためにね。天明寺とクオークも行くのか？
ああ、すまんな。
ごめんね、みんな。
Sorry guys, I just doomed all of you to an eternity of hell inside a warehouse.
どうじゃシグマ、納得したか？
Are you serious? Whoa, I feel like you need to shut the... Do you like rubbing salt in the wound or something?
わしは約束を破ってはおらん。
A man who keeps his promises on semantics and technicalities and pedantry is not a man who really keeps his promises, okay?
9の扉を開いたのはわしらではなく四つ葉じゃからな。
Like hell I'm happy! That's some shady shit, Tenmyouji!
まあ、どうとでも言うがいい。
Yeah, in Sigma's words from some other route, your shit is hella whack, Tenmyouji.
わしはどうしても外に出なければならんのじゃ。一刻も早くここを出て奴に制裁を下さねばならん。
奴というのは？
無論ゼロボスのことじゃよ。
ゼロボスがどこにいるのか知ってるって言うんですか？
ああ、ここまで来たのじゃからもう行っても構わんじゃろ。わしはゼロボスのことをよく知っておるんじゃ。
なんだと？
And he says it's a he. Okay.
9の扉が開放されました。9の扉閉鎖まで残り9秒です。
さあ行くよ、天明寺さん、クォーク。ちょっと待って、シグマさん、これ読んでもらえる？
I don't want anything. Quark held something out. I looked down to see 2 pieces of folded paper. What is this?
手紙。AB ゲームの前に所長室で書いたんだ。これを読んでもらえれば、じっちゃんと僕のこと分かってもらえると思う。だから、はい。
He pressed it into my hand.
それじゃあね、シグマさん。
Then he turned and ran toward the door, Tenmyouji and Clover following in his footsteps. Oh, and I forgot, it's the Tenmyouji and Clover crew, the Junpei and Clover crew, the 999 crew. I was so surprised by the letter that I didn't even try to stop them. I can't imagine what you can write that will change my mind. Oh my god. It really sucks to be on the short end of the stick, you know? So even if you tell me about how great of a man your grandpa is, it's a little difficult. Before I could think of anything to say.
ではな。
じゃあね。
Okay, I don't want to hear
9の
this.
扉をこれにてお疲れなおゲームどうぞご残りのよ
Letter! Read the letter! Okay, good. First time we've made it past that announcement, too.
言っちまったな。
あとは、あの3人が助けを呼んでくれることを祈るばかりだな。
そうですね。
You guys are so biased, man. What? I don't see you guys tackling the old man or the girl or the kid, but you tackle me when I try to open the door. I looked down at Quark's letter and slowly unfolded it. His handwriting was still slightly uneven, but he'd filled both pages with writing. I began to read. It was a really stormy day when he found me. He said the rain was coming down so hard it almost hurt, but somehow he managed to hear a baby crying. I guess I must have been crying pretty loud. He took me home and did his best to raise me, but he'd never been married or had a kid before, so I think it was really hard for him. He couldn't figure out how to mix the formula, so he was always carrying the directions around with him. Also, I guess I was a pretty picky eater, so if he didn't get the water to formula ratio just right, I wouldn't eat it. I guess I was kind of a pain, huh? But he didn't give up, and now here I am. When he found me, I was really, really small, and he was worried that I might not make it. That's why he named me Quark. A quark is a really, really small thing, and I was really, really small too. Grandpa didn't need to worry though, because it turned out that I was pretty tough. When I was 1, he forgot I was sleeping in the bed of his truck and drove off. I rolled out and went off the back, but I didn't even get scratched. I started walking when I was 2, and when he wasn't looking, I fell down the stairs. I didn't get hurt then either. When I was 3, I got really sick. I had a super high fever for a week, but eventually, I got better. I guess you could say I'm pretty lucky. Anyway, I didn't really have any more accidents after that, and I was a pretty healthy kid. By the time I was 6, I started helping Grandpa out with his work. His job was to gather junk from abandoned buildings. Then he'd fix it up, or pull out the useful parts and sell them. Salvage business. There were plenty of abandoned buildings, but finding good stuff in them was hard. You had to know which parts were useful, or you could end up wasting a bunch of time. Every time I'd find something, he'd explain to me what it was, how it was supposed to work, how to fix it, all sorts of things. Usually though, I just wanted to finish up work so I could go to the theater. The theater came to our town once a week in a wagon. They showed old news or movies. I went every single week, but Grandpa only went once in a while, and he'd only go weeks when they showed movies. Oh, yeah. I didn't know that I'd been adopted until I was 7. One of the other kids on my block told me. Goddamn kids. I guess after Grandpa found me, he looked all over town to try to find somebody who'd take me. The kid from my block actually had a mom, and he'd asked her if she would take me too. I gotta admit, I was pretty shocked when I heard that. There weren't a lot of kids with parents around, so hearing that somebody lived with his actual mom was pretty impressive. Where do you live? I was also kind of surprised that Grandpa had tried to get someone else to take me. Did that mean he didn't want me? The kid who told me about Grandpa trying to get rid of me was a real jerk. He was totally spoiled, and he'd brag to everybody about how he had a mom. He liked to come up to me while I was working and say stuff like, "Must be hard not having a mother." It had never bothered me before, but after I found out that Grandpa had adopted me, I started to think that maybe he didn't really want me. If I could work on my own, then he could get rid of me. I was scared to know the truth, so I never asked him. Then one day, he took me to a bar in our neighborhood. During the day, of course. He went there sometimes to drink scotch, but I'd never gone before. When we got in, he just walked up to the counter with that grumpy look he has, and I thought, oh no, he's gonna make me work here. But I was wrong. I saw him pass something to the bartender, and then he picked me up and set me down on a stool next to the counter. The stool was pretty high, especially for a 7-year-old kid, and my legs just dangled off of it. It seemed really, really high to me, and I was pretty nervous. Eventually, the bartender came back over with a glass of scotch and another big glass full of something else. As I looked closer, I realized that the second glass was full of some sort of brown liquid with a scoop of ice cream in it. It took me a minute to realize what it was. Root beer floats! I'd never seen one before. I was so surprised. Root beer was even more expensive than the nicest alcohol in the bar. To me and the other kids, it seemed more like an urban legend than a real drink. But there it was, right in front of me. I stared at the float. I still wasn't sure it was real at that point, and then turned to look at Grandpa. He looked back at me. I didn't know what to do, so I turned to the bartender. He'd already turned around and moved off though, so I figured he must have put the glass down in front of me on purpose. It still didn't seem like it could be real, and I was just staring at it when Grandpa told me to hurry up and drink it before the ice cream melted. His gruff voice sounded like an angel's. "Is this really mine?" He nodded. Words can't describe how awesome it was. I'd never tasted anything like root beer before. The creamy sweetness of the ice cream made my entire head feel light. I felt like the luckiest boy in the whole world. That's not an exaggeration. I really thought that. The root beer float was delicious, but what made me even happier was Grandpa. When I looked over at him, he was smiling. I know that's gotta be hard for you to imagine, but he really was. Right then, I didn't care whether or not he just found me and adopted me. He'd bought me a root beer float. That made me way luckier than some kid who had a mother but never tasted root beer. Of course, after we left the bar, he was the first kid I bragged to. So Grandpa and I were doing pretty good. Until the fight. I was in a super bad mood that day. I had torn one of my shoes that morning, and some old drunk guy had yelled at me. All the junk I found was totally useless. The day was almost over, and I was fed up, so I just grabbed some random trash and took it back to the house. When I showed what I found to Grandpa, he frowned. He started going through each thing I'd brought back, explaining why they were all useless. I got really mad and just yelled, "I don't care!" Then he got mad, and I couldn't take it anymore, so I ran away. I was pretty upset, and I started thinking that maybe Grandpa had only adopted me so he could raise me to work and make money for him. After a while, I went and hid in an abandoned building, but by then, I'd started to calm down and think that maybe I should go back and apologize. It had started raining pretty hard though, so I decided I should wait for it to stop. But that was just an excuse. The truth was, I was nervous. Part of me knew I'd done something wrong, but I didn't want to admit it. The rain didn't stop though, so I just sat there, staring out at the gloomy, gray sky. I imagined Grandpa coming to get me. It kept raining all night, and he never showed up. I gave up waiting and decided it was time to go home. I was about halfway there when I heard somebody groaning. At first, I thought I should just ignore it and not get involved, but I went over anyway, and it was Grandpa. He was totally soaked, and I could tell right away that he'd been there for a really long time. I yelled, and he opened his eyes a little bit. He smiled weakly and said he was glad I was safe. He'd spent all night out in the rain, looking for me. I felt awful. Grandpa had been out in the rain looking for me so long that he collapsed. I was horrible. He'd heard me crying in the rain, but I hadn't heard him. As I ran to get the doctor, I promised whatever God may be listening that if he would only save Grandpa, I'd never ask for another root beer float ever again. He got a real bad fever, and his temperature wouldn't go down for days. The doctor said if it kept up, he'd die. If he died, then I'd be all alone. There wouldn't be anybody left to care about me. The thought of that happening terrified me. Fortunately, I must have passed some of my good luck on to Grandpa, because a week later, his fever finally broke. I was glad he wasn't going to die, but I was also a little scared. What if he had decided he didn't want a stupid kid like me around anymore? My plan was to apologize as soon as he woke up, but when the moment came, my brain just stopped. Grandpa started to talk, and it took me a minute to realize he was apologizing. I didn't know what to think. He explained that he was an old man, and that meant he probably was going to die sooner rather than later. He was strict with me because he wanted to make sure I'd be able to make it on my own after he was gone, but maybe he'd been a little too strict. All of the things I'd worried about had been stupid and selfish. Grandpa cared about me a whole lot. He'd been worried when I ran off, and he'd gone out into the rain to look for me. I tried to apologize, but when I opened my mouth, I just started crying. I don't think I've cried that much since I was a baby. But he just smiled and patted my head. I asked him if he'd ever regretted adopting me. His eyes got all wide and he said, "Of course not." He told me that he was looking for a really important lady, and because of that, he'd had to give up on pretty much everything else in his life. But when he took me in and started raising me, he felt like he'd gotten some of what he lost back. That was when I decided I'd stay with him forever. Even if he said I couldn't. Oh! Wow, they don't even give you time to chew on that. And we are ending right here. Is this Quark's ending? I don't know. We'll have to wait for the text. Oh no, we don't find out until the very end. Okay, well, I don't know what to think of this. Because I feel like they're definitely signaling to me that Tenmyouji is Junpei, but older. But then how does the timeline thing all work out? Why is he so damn old now? Is that why nobody can find him? And the old lady, if she's like a similar age to him, does that mean that that was supposed to be June older? Suddenly, nothing seems to make sense anymore. But when Tenmyouji got that long fever just now, it made me remember that June had that similar problem in 999 where she kept getting fevers and stuff. I don't think it's related, but yeah. And remember back in K's ending, or we never got K's ending, but during the long spiel that K had, he mentioned that this lady raised him as he grew up. And she had to leave to go find the one that she loved. And now Tenmyouji is looking all over the place to find the one that he loves. And now it's turning into like a, I don't know, it's like a romance epic or something. Man. You know, and the fact that the director's office, the password was help. It makes me think that maybe there's something similar to 999 going on here, that the whole game was set up to help somebody. I don't know. I didn't think the whole thing was that related to the cast in 999, but now since Clover was talking about how, oh, Junpei was searching his whole life looking for Akane, and Akane is nowhere to be found, and we don't know where Santa is, it makes me think that they might actually go back to some of the 999 people too. We're getting there, slowly, but not fast enough it doesn't seem. Yeah, we've actually seen the credits so many times now, I wonder if I can just skip this. It's okay, right? Because we've seen this. Yeah, we can skip it. Cool. Oh! Not a Quark end, but a Tenmyouji end. Interesting. Huh. Gotta say, Quark is a pretty good writer for being 10 years old. That's 3. 3. Oh. Well. Okay. Let's just go on here and then try to betray them. At which point, Clover will leave. I'm not sure what good that does us, but we'll see.